Hey guys, and welcome to my Draw My Life. This is all about me, obviously. In 1994, I was born in London, in the UK. Typically, everyone thinks everyone's born in London. It's the only place you can apparently live, but it's not true. I live with my dad, my mum, and at the time it was just me as a single child until my little brother came along in 1996. Eventually we decided to move in 1999 to the town of Bognor Regis, which is supposedly the sunniest town in the UK, but it's also mostly known for having one of the Butlins resorts, which you can go to and have a lovely holiday with the redcoats. My life didn't really hold anything to me, no memories I can really recall, until secondary school, where I was one of the sad bully cases, which led me to be bullied a lot throughout my secondary years. I wore glasses, I had bushy eyebrows, and I was called Four Eyes and all that. It led me to use the websites How About I Envy You, where I could be whoever I wanted to be. I didn't have any expectations to be held of me. I could dress the way I want and be friends with who I want. And I spent a lot of years on these sites, and I met Paige and Jeff, and they were my best friends, and they helped me through a lot, and they still are my friends today. In year 10 is where my life took a kind of turn for the worst. My mum had to go into hospital for a leaking valve in her heart, which should have been a simple operation. It led me to being quite alone at school, because no one really understood what I was going through. No one expects to be able to cope with that. My friends were going through that stage where they were discovering who they were, going out drinking, partying, doing all of the things that just wasn't who I was, so I was even more alone. My situation wasn't really understood by the people around me. It was just at a really bad time where people were growing up and discovering who they were. In 2008 at Christmas time, we were told that my mum was quite severely ill and she possibly wouldn't make it through the operation. My mum means a lot to me, so it was quite a big effect in my life. Her lung collapsed, her kidneys failed, and she had a blood clot in her heart, which needed to be operated on for a second time. She couldn't speak, talk or walk. She was sedated for a month, but eventually when they woke her up, she had to use machines, like the children toys, to spell out things she wanted to say. She had to regain the muscles in her legs, and she had to learn to walk again, talk again. And she still can't sing today because she sounds like a strangled cat, but I love her just as much. At school it was prom, the time where you want it to be a fairy tale and it never truly is. You watch too many movies, and I ended up going with someone from my art class, and I wasn't expecting it to be much, but after a few weeks a guy in my art class asked me if I wanted to go with him, and the fairy tale just popped straight into my head, and I actually remember this moment so well, and I said yes. And I went to prom with him and my friends too. I didn't ditch her. Prom was one of the best days of my life. I'll never ever forget prom. I felt like a completely different person, and I just felt like a caterpillar that had turned into a butterfly. Eventually I did ask the guy out. He said no, but it's fine. It makes you who you are. And it was in the 6-week summer holidays. I asked him. But after the 6 weeks I went to sixth form in the same school. So obviously I didn't have any friends. The girl who I did know was gone, and I was one of those typical people sitting by themselves, eating lunch by themselves. But eventually I started to sit with Jack and his group of friends with Michael, and I met two girls in my art class who became my friends, but I sort of felt like I was in the way of their friendship. I felt like it was a triangle that shouldn't be a triangle, so after 2 years I sort of haven't really stepped out of that relationship. But meanwhile I did also sit with Michael, Jack, Sam and their group of friends, and they're still my friends and they're best friends to me. And I met Matthew in this group, who became my boyfriend. Matthew was my first boyfriend who I've ever truly had serious feelings for. He means a lot to me, and he made me believe I'm something special and I'm not what all those people once called me. After 8 months of being together though, Matthew's family decided that they didn't want to stay in the UK anymore, and they flew to Australia and decided they'd live there. My terrible drawings of countries and continents. After Matt moved to Australia, he'd come visit me for Christmases, and he 2 Christmases he came to visit me, and in the summer of 2010 I went to visit him for a holiday in Australia, so I was there for 6 weeks. And it was a pretty amazing holiday. There's a lot of memories there, a lot of life experiences that I won't ever forget. It was an expensive holiday though, but I'd saved up money to go. I got to hold a koala bear, feed a koala bear, I got to feed a kangaroo, got to pet kangaroo, all the typical Australian animals that I saw. It was just one of those things I'll never forget. A good thing that came out of the distance relationship. In 2013 I had my eyes lasered with laser eye surgery, so I no longer needed glasses anymore, and this totally transformed my personality and made me feel so much different. It's hard to believe that sort of pieces of glass and a frame could make you feel like trapped in a personality. After the summer I started foundation at college before I went off to university, and I made a whole new group of friends that I couldn't believe my luck. I never thought I could have friends as good as these. It was only a year I was in the foundation for, but I'd grown so close to one person, Alison in particular, and we went to Paris together, we went to Disneyland in Paris together. She truly was my best friend after 4 years of being so alone. I finally had someone who truly wanted to be my friend and accepted me for who I was. But sadly nothing lasts forever, and after a year our foundation ended. We all went our separate ways to our universities, and Alison went to her university quite far away, whereas I stayed quite close to home so that I could be with my family. And I met Paige from my MVU. This isn't an advertisement to meet people online, but me and Paige knew each other for quite a long time, and we thought it was finally time to meet, and it was amazing. We were just as good friends. After 2 years of being apart, Matthew finally came back from Australia to be with me. He decided to leave his parents there, and he came by himself so that we could be together. It was a long and hard time for the 2 years we were apart, but it made our relationship even stronger. Now he actually lives 3 houses away, so we just say hi. We just look out the window, have a little wave. He's right there, so I can go see him all the time, and he can come and see me anytime. So we're getting on quite well, considering we were so far apart for so long, and now we're so close. So then I started university doing a bachelor's in illustration at Portsmouth in the UK, not in America, which I don't know which one was first. But I also started working as a Christmas temp at Game, which is like GameStop and basically a game store, you know, Xbox games or PC games, which is also something I really enjoy. It's a big part of my life. I love playing video games, as you all know. But unfortunately they didn't take me on as a full-time staff member. I've worked there for 2 Christmases so far, but they have said I can go back for the 3rd year, which is just as nice because it means I don't have to work full-time and I can have a bit more free time in the year. So that leads to today, where I'm pretty happy. I see all of my uni friends in the holidays, and I see my 6th form friends quite regularly. Go out for a good old pizza, and me and Matthew are still together after 3 years and 3 months. We're pretty happy together, and although life is a bit difficult sometimes, you have to overcome all of the past, and the past does make you who you are. So although the past made me feel like I was not worthy, I was ugly, and all of those nasty depressing thoughts, now I believe I am quite beautiful in my own way. Whether everyone sees it or not, Matthew's made me truly believe I'm someone special, And who knows what the future holds? No one truly knows what's going to happen, but things will get better eventually. You just have to believe it and be patient. Don't let life get you down, and you just got to be happy. Thanks very much for watching my life, guys. And don't forget, keep your chins up, and life will work out for you eventually. Don't let the past hold you back. Become the new you, and things will really get better. Thank you, guys. That was my Draw My Life. Bye, guys.